All right, my friends, welcome. I am going to today talk to you a little bit about how to use the Gale Literary Resource Center and Literary Sources databases. So we will get started. Just in case anyone doesn't know how to get there from the Jesuit webpage, it's under Academics. Click on Clark Library, click here for information, and there you are. We're going to start today with the Databases tab, although normally when you're in a class you do go from Research Guides. But let's look at Databases. We're going to go under the Gale Power Search tab. We're going to click on the English tab. That narrows down which databases we're going to look at. And today we're going to be looking at Literature Resource Center and Gale Literary Sources. So I'm going to start here at Literature Resource Center. And we're going to search for The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe's poem. And when you get here, notice that you begin with literature criticism articles, but over here on the right you see that you have several different content types. You have literature criticism, but then you also have biographies and topic and work overviews, etc. You have 1,500 articles of this type, 700 biographies, 46 topic and work overviews. So you have quite a lot of articles to look at. You can also limit over here by person, by name of the work, by publication title, etc. if you want to. So we're just going to move right into looking at one of the articles. Most of the articles work the same way, so I'm just picking the first one here to show you the different possibilities that you have here. So you'll notice that you have a lot of tools on the right over here. We're going to talk about what those tools do, and then you have the article on the left over here. You see that anywhere the words that you searched for appear, those are in red. So that's kind of handy. Allows you to skim through the article a little bit as you are trying to decide if this is an article that you would like to use or not. Okay. So first of all, if you are someone who prefers to just make a list of articles and then you want to come back to that list later, do not use this as the address that you're going to come back to. This is a temporary address. What you want to use is this bookmark tool. So the bookmark tool, then you would copy this bookmark and then paste it maybe into a Google Doc or wherever you want to make that list. But then that link is going to be permanent. So again, if you want to come back to this article, just make a list of articles, then you would use that bookmark tool. But if you have decided that this is an article for you, a couple of things. One, we have the citation tools over here on the right. If you click on citation tools, up pops this box, and here you have the MLA citation for the article. You can copy and paste that if you like. When you copy and paste into your actual works cited, you will want to make sure of a couple things. One, make sure that the italics stick. So here's the title of the work that it was published in, and here's the title of the database. Those should both be in italics. And then make sure that you remove this http:// part, because that does not actually belong in an MLA8 citation, even though they have put it. This access part is optional, so you may decide if you want to include that or not. You may ask your teacher to see if your teacher wants you to include that or not. So that is a way to get the citation. The citation is also usually in the Literature Resource Center, also referred to as the LRC. The source citation is usually at the bottom of the article, so you can copy and paste it from there as well if you prefer. This highlights and notes. So let's say that you are reading your article, and as you read you like to do a little bit of notation. You can highlight things. You can pick whichever color. Today I feel like being green, even though it's not easy being green. Just kidding, that was a little joke, sorry. I can also decide, oh okay, I want to make a note about his birth. Poe's birth. info here. Okay, and then I'm just going to click save, and then I will have a note about that. So if I want to do that, I can. If I don't want to do that, I don't have to. But if I do that first and then I click this button, send to Google Drive, well, it's going to make me log into my Google Drive here. It always makes me log in, but there we go. So if I log into my Google Drive, sorry about the phone over there, then when I go to my drive, I will see this article. It's going to be here in my quick access, but it's also going to be down here in this Literature Resource Center folder. Okay, and when I open the article, Literature Resource Center will make me a new folder. Or if I already have a Literature Resource Center, because as you can see, I already had some other things in there for all of the different classes that I've looked up articles for. So if you've already made a folder for LRC, it'll put it into that same folder. But as you can see, my highlights and my notes are still here. My actual notes will be written at the bottom. So here's what I typed in. Also, you will notice that the citation is here. Do notice that there is no hanging indent, and also notice that the http:// is still there, which you need to remove. So those are a couple of things that you will need to take care of when you put it into your citation. All right, so if we're back at our article, I've now lost my article. I have no idea where it went, which tab it's under. Here we go. Sorry about that. These other things are probably not going to be that helpful to you. You do not want to download this article because it's just easier to send it to your Google Drive, and saving to my folder is nothing for you. You could print or email the article if you prefer. You can also, I didn't mention, but you can listen to these articles, so it's not a lovely listening experience. It is a computer-generated voice reading the article to you, but still it can be helpful to you. So you may want to keep that in mind. Okay. If we go back to our search results, one thing that I didn't point out is that you can see the word count here. So you may want to look at that as you're trying to decide which articles you're going to look at, because this article that's 1,500 words, that's not a very long article. This article that's 15,000 words, that's a really long article. So you may want to be looking for articles that are somewhere in between, like 8,300. But again, you may not care about that. It just depends. All right, so that is the Literature Resource Center. If we're looking at the Literary Sources database, and you will notice that it lists the database up here and it says Gale. If we look back at the one we were just at, Literature Resource Center and Gale, all of those content types, etc., are the same. The limiters are the same. If we look at an article here, we have the same tools. Okay, but there is one difference in the Literary Sources database where we found the source citation at the bottom of the articles in LRC. In Literary Sources, we find the citation at the top where it says show source citation. Wow, that's a little bit tricky to say. So that's in a different place on this database. So if you're struggling to find that, you can also always find it under the citation tools. Okay. Otherwise, things are pretty much the same in these databases. If we go back to our search results, I don't know why it's taking so long, sorry. We have all the same kinds, we have the word counts, etc. So everything is pretty much the same. You can see right here, this says brief article, and if you look at the word count, it is 140 words. That's probably a good indication to you that you do not even want to look at that article. Okay, so I think those are the highlights that you need to know about for being able to use Gale Literary Sources and the Literature Resource Center database. As always, if you have any questions, then be sure and come and see me or Mr. Lum. We'll be happy to help you. Thanks for listening. Bye.